we've emasculated all of sports. You can't play baseball the way Pete Rose played baseball anymore. It's all been eliminated. Pete played baseball with a level of physicality. His most famous moment in all of baseball is diving into home plate during an All-Star game, and then there's the iconic photo, I think, of Pete diving into third base. That anytime you see it, you just think of Pete Rose, and you think of the reckless abandonment that he played with, and how many men in all of these sports played with that level of passion, and men no longer play sports with that kind of passion anymore. Men, it's not a passion play, it's a money grab. That's what we've turned sports into. Love of the game has turned into love of money. And when I think about Pete Rose and what he represents, and I think about him in terms of what's missing in sports, what Pete Rose was basically Ray Lewis and Dick Butkus playing baseball. Pete Rose was Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan playing baseball. Pete Rose was Mark Messier playing baseball. Pete Rose was Brett Favre playing football. Pete Rose was Tiger Woods playing football. There was a time when sports were completely and totally defined by men who played the game the way Pete Rose played baseball. And so when you hear a lot of people talk about, hey, make America great again, this is what we're talking about. Make men men again. Could we play? And I know this is a tough word to use with Pete Rose, given the fact that he bet and gambled on baseball games as a Cincinnati Reds player and manager. He bet on the games he actually participated in. I know it's tough to use these words, but Pete played the game with an enthusiasm and a passion that brought so much integrity to the game. When you watch Pete Rose play, and I'm not talking about we didn't know he was gambling, but when you watched him play, it was like, holy cow, does this game really matter to Pete Rose and the men playing the game during the 1960s and 70s and early 80s. Look, they're willing to risk it all for greatness, for a win, to move from second to third base, to move from first to second base, to score a run. They're willing to risk it all. And that's what attracted us to Pete Rose, to sports. The stakes used to be really, really high and significant. It wasn't about money. It was about honor, and it was about masculinity and proving you were a better man than the other man. And so we would tune in, and the stakes were so, and you were on the edge of your seat. And now we've turned sports into nothing but a pursuit of your next contract and fantasy points and point spread. And we'll miss that. And if I'm going here, and people may not initially understand it, but when I think about Pete Rose, I understand why there's such a passion for Caitlin Clark. Because when Caitlin Clark plays basketball, it reminds you of Pete Rose playing baseball. When you watch Caitlin Clark, it's like, holy cow. She puts everything and will risk everything to play basketball and reach her goals. I know the woman struggles on defense, but holy cow, does she have a passion for the game. She has an incredible passion, and she's willing to risk everything. Her reputation, getting poked in the eye, getting beat up by everybody on the court. And we love that, and we respect that about her, and that's why there's so much energy and people trying to protect Caitlin Clark at all costs, why her fan base is out of control and rabid, because she reminds us of what sports used to be like. There was real resistance, and the resistance sometimes crossed the lines, the way the Detroit Pistons used to cross the lines with Michael Jordan. And that's why we love Michael Jordan, because every time he got knocked down, he would get back up and continue on and soldier on. And that's why when Michael Jordan wrapped his arms around the Larry O'Brien trophy, it's like, holy cow, this is so important to him. And we look at his basketball offspring, Kobe Bryant, play with that same type of passion. And I know that those guys were making a lot of money, and I know at the end of Michael Jordan's career, he's making a lot of money, but these guys played the game like the money didn't matter. Think of Kobe Bryant tearing his Achilles heel and like, I'm gonna shoot this free throw before I walk off this court. Before I walk off this court with a torn Achilles. Think about Ronnie Lott. Whatever it is he did to his finger to continue to play. This is what Pete Rose represented, and it's a torch that now has been handed to a 22-year-old little girl out of Iowa. And I marvel at it, but I'm also like halfway like disappointed. We've handed this torch of courage and masculinity to a 22-year-old woman, and where the WNBA plays a tougher, more resistant style of competition than Major League Baseball, than the NFL, than the NBA, than maybe even the NHL? That are we not, we're watching in real time. Like, they're moving all the rites of passages, the toughness test, the resistance that used to be directed at men to make us stronger. They're now applying that resistance to women to make them stronger. Pete Rose's death signifies something that we all need to take a minute and just really think about, focus on. What are we doing? Pete Rose, and I'm not defending his gambling deal. The guy should have had more discipline. He didn't need to be a degenerate gambler. He certainly didn't need to be betting on baseball games. Bet on football, basketball, but again, he wants to bet on what he knows the best, baseball. But I wish he hadn't done that so that his reputation and what he represented could be properly analyzed today. There will be a lot of discussion about Pete Rose and being banned from the Hall of Fame and not being in the Hall of Fame, and was it right and was it fair? And we've been having that discussion since 1989 or 1990? I mean, we've been having it for 30 some odd years. I wish we didn't have to have that discussion because of Pete Rose's weakness and stupidity. And we could just focus on what he represented and what we've lost in sports. Men being truly tested. And why are we allowing those tests now to happen in women's sports in the WNBA? But everything in men's sports is about safety first. Oh, how can we make everybody more safe? Did you get hit hard? Oh, you have a concussion. And everybody that gets a concussion dies at 33. I mean, we tell this lie. We pretend like Steve Young and Troy Aikman and all these boxers aren't still around. But safety, for everything for men, they're turning men into women. And yes, Pete Rose was a degenerate gambler, but he was a real man. And sports used to require you to be a real man. I'm not. This isn't my homophobia creeping in. It's just me fact checking. If sports were what they used to be, Caleb Williams would in no way walk into a locker room with his fingernails painted. I don't care what his sexuality is. He just wouldn't do it because it wouldn't be allowed. It would violate every locker room code known to man. But because we've emasculated sports, the Chicago Bears rookie quarterback feels very comfortable coming to work with painted fingernails. What are we doing? We're trying to make women men. We're putting women through the tests that used to be reserved for men. None of this is criticism of Caitlin Clark. It's actually hats off to her, but it's asking the question of why. And we're letting Caitlin Clark again, right now, I've been arguing for months now. She's the biggest star in American sports. She's the only thing I've seen that I would compare. I don't even compare her to Michael Jordan. The only person I really compare her to is Tiger Woods and what he did for professional golf. And just Tiger Woods, and I know golf's not, a contact sport, but Tiger Woods' toughness, winning the U.S. Open on one leg, all the surgeries he's gone through, and again, some of it's brought on by his own stupidity, driving while taking, sleeping aids and, the other stupid stuff Tiger's done. But Tiger Woods is tough. He used to go through military training in preparation for golf. That's who I would compare Caitlin Clark. And obviously Tiger Woods' passion for golf, his love of golf. He would have played the game for no money. All of these men, it's all being swept away and handed over to women. Why are we doing this? What Caitlin Clark is riding the back of Pete Rose, not a 22-year-old boy or man. Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.